What's up, everybody? Welcome back for another lesson with Troosh Teaches. So, I get a lot of questions like, how do I wheelie this? How do we wheelie that? How is it different on a GROM? So today, we're gonna do how to wheelie a GROM. It's not too much different from wheeling the TTR or any other type of mini bike. It's just the structure of the bike's a little different. So, I'm smaller, so it was harder for me to learn on, and I always say that if I had to learn wheelies on a GROM, I wouldn't have progressed like I did because I just think learning on a GROM is a lot more difficult. So just because being on the TTR or another bike, like a dirt bike style, it comes right up, the balance is right there, and you can keep your foot down. Now with the GROM, even though it seems smaller to the, like lower to the ground, it's wider, so I like to drag my foot when I teach somebody how to wheelie, and my foot doesn't touch too well. And also, even though we did the clutch springs in here, our sprocket is still stock. Clutching it up is a little more difficult, and you have to give it a little more gas, and sometimes even pull it. So, trying to learn on a GROM is a little more difficult, but we're gonna go through it today. So, we're gonna start with basic clutch up again. And if you watched the last video, I said just easy on the gas. Just easy. Now with the GROM, you're gonna have to feel it out. The first couple times you might not get it off the ground, or your timing will be weird, so just give it a count, little 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna try to get it off the ground. If you feel like your timing was right and you didn't get it off the ground, give it a little more gas that time. Maybe even rev it before you dump it. That's what I see a lot of people do, and I think that's what I tried to do when I was first on the GROM. Just give it a little 1, 2, 3, and bring it up. The GROM also isn't as forgiving as some of the other bikes. It'll throw you right back if you clutch it up correctly. So you're gonna wanna learn to hit the brake fast and be right on it. Because with GROMs versus like the TTR 125, the balance point for the TTR is normal, and I always think the balance point on a GROM is like here. So you're gonna loop a lot easier. At least that's how I feel. So let's get to it. So starting with the basics, we're just gonna clutch it up. I'm in neutral right now, just to show you. I'm just gonna give it 1, 2, 1, 2, you know, at the same time. You don't have to do this before that, do it at the same time. I like to put 1 foot down and 1 foot on the brake. So I know in the last video I said, just practice clutching it up on the TTR. On this bike, as soon as you get it up, start hitting the brake because it'll loop you. So this one's just a lot smoother. It'll just loop right to your back. So 1, 2, 3, brake. If it stalls, fuck it. 1, 2, 3. I like to practice trying to pull the clutch in when I come down, just so you have full control. If you can't do it right now, don't worry about it. You'll learn it later on like I did. Look ahead, clutch up, brake. 1, 2, 3, brake. 1, 2, 3, brake. For my shorter people out there, putting a foot down on the GROM, or just anybody really, might not be as comfortable, just because like this is this wide and the TTR is like this wide, so it's a big difference. So even when I just basic foot brake, sit down, straight wheelies, my foot just kind of dangles, and I'm not a fan of it. So let me show you that real quick. Kind of looks uncomfortable. My butt is centered on the bike. 1, 2. So if dragging your foot while trying to learn is that big of an issue, because it can mess you up if that's not what you're trying to do, you can try to put both feet on and go. The issue with that is now you're not just trying to learn bringing it up, putting it down, bringing it up, putting it down. You're learning like what movements take you this way and that way, and it can be like kind of a shit show. So I like to start at a dead stop, where like I like to teach people at a dead stop, just because you have the ultimate control and you're not worried about where you like to clutch up in. You just come to the one point and go. But if you need to clutch up with both feet on, just make sure you hit that brake. Because if you go too fast and bring it too high and don't hit that brake, it's just gonna go crazy and you're gonna fall. So let's do a little demonstration of that. I'm gonna roll up and bring it to almost a stop, and then bring it up. Bring it to almost a stop. 1, 2, 3. Now when I have both feet on the GROM, and sometimes even with my foot down, the GROMs have a little less power, or maybe not less power, just the way it puts it out to you. You might have to time it where when you're clutching it up, as you're releasing the clutch, you're pulling it at the same time. So with your 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you might have to pull up on the bars to get it up. Do what works for you. But I'm gonna do the 2 feet on, clutch up again, just bring it up, hit the brake, but you're gonna see me pull it a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Coming up to a stop with the clutch in, and we're gonna 1, 2, 3. Hit the brake. A lot of learning how to wheelie is going to be trial and error. How much gas, how much brake, where to put your body, how much to pull. Look straight, clutch it up, foot brake, everything else will come. I'll tell you right now, I think GROMs are a lot harder to learn on. I was only on a GROM after I knew how to wheelie, so that's why it was a little bit easier. So take your time, don't get too frustrated, and once you learn the basics, we're going to do a part 2 of how to wheelie on the DRZ. But just once you get it, just try to keep it up there, try to keep yourself from looping, and just keep going. If you need to put the foot down, do it. I like it for balance. If you need to put both feet on, there's a couple more things to think about at once, but you'll get it. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions about how to wheelie a Honda GROM, and I'll answer it, I'll get back to you, or even make a response video. So thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for part 2.